Hello everybody, this is AK. I'm back. So on the screen you see a cruiser, a German cruiser, one of my favorite cruisers in World of Warships, and it's different from the ship that I showcased in yesterday's video, right? That one was a British battleship. Right, this is a cruiser. It's a mid-tier cruiser, and cruisers usually have less armor than battleship, and they have a smaller health pool. And this one, being a mid-tier cruiser, also doesn't come with a repair party. So it means that if someone should take aim and is quite accurate and hits you, especially from a battleship with their big guns, it's going to take a big chunk out of your health. And because it lacks a repair party, it cannot repair the damage and heal back some of the lost health. So what happens is you want to be very careful if you're in a cruiser. Right, in a battleship you can be a bit more adventurous, and because you can take a few hits and you can repair the damage and still come back. But not in a cruiser like this. You have to be very careful with your positioning, where you position yourself, and you want to be very stealthy. Right, I'm making this video not just to talk to you about the different types of ships and their characteristics in World of Warships. This has parallel when it comes to us being investors, right? When we're investing in stuff, we have to know what kind of investor we are, and whether we are able to take a few knocks along the way, right? Some of us can't, right? And we have to realize that some of us can't take a few knocks, and if we do take a couple of big hits, we are down. It's hard for us to recover from taking big hits, right? So those investors are like cruisers. They want to be very careful and with their positioning, right? And of course, when you're investors, we are not talking about where you position yourself on the map, right? We want to talk about positioning our investments in our portfolio, how big they should be, right? And what kind of stocks, what kind of percentages in our portfolio. So if we cannot take big hits, we cannot take knocks as investors, then we want to be very defensive, right? Especially if, like I say, like retirees, or people who might be unemployed, or people who are just starting out as investors. Maybe they don't have that much money, and they are contract workers. They don't know how secure their jobs are going to be, that kind of workers. Then they want to be more defensive, right, in their investment style, right? And so I'm saying all this also because in yesterday's video, I in my thumbnail I say still thinking about investing in Alibaba, and how I'm already increasing exposure, and some people might be influenced by that and jump into Alibaba. Now that his stock price has recovered, many people take comfort that the stock price has recovered and the worst seems to be over, right? And that's when you see, you might see many people jumping in. And with my video yesterday, more people might jump in. But I take comfort in the fact that my Alibaba videos usually have lower viewership. Most of my viewers are more interested in I think the CPF and also in investing in the banks, DBS, OCBC and UOB. They are more conservative, and that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, right? But for some of us, like I said yesterday, maybe we can be a bit more adventurous and take a bit more have bigger positions in growth stocks. People like in my situation where passive income is quite substantial, right? So, but still, not many of my viewers are interested in Alibaba. That's the feeling that I get, right? From the viewership count for all my Alibaba videos. And yesterday's Alibaba video had a very low viewership count, which is probably a blessing in disguise, because don't want people to rush into something that maybe they are not ready for or it's not so suitable for them. So we have to know ourselves. I always say knowledge is important, and self-knowledge is even more important. Know what we are capable of, what kind of situation we can weather, right? Don't just ride on someone else's coattails and jump into the deep end of the pool, right? So and to that point, I also want to say that I look at my CPF again recently. I made a video about how I would be getting like $3,400 a month from CPF Life when I turn 65, because I intend to go for the ERS, the Enhanced Retirement Scheme, and that'll give me $3,400 a month from age 65. And that's quite comfortable, so that's another cushion that I have. And for my ordinary account, if I leave it alone and I don't take out the money, the latest count was $800,000 in the ordinary account, and if 2.5% interest rate stays for the ordinary account, that's another $20,000 a year in interest that I could withdraw to fund my retirement in my I wouldn't say golden years, right? Or maybe it should be the golden years, I don't know, right? So later on in life, basically, I could withdraw 20,000. It's not that late, I could do that when I turn 55, and that would be less than 2 years from now, right? I could get $20,000 per year from my ordinary account, just the interest to fund my retirement, and then 10 years after that, age 65, I'll get another $3,400 per month from my CPF Life, right, because of ERS. Yeah, so that shows how important the CPF is for more average investors like myself, because it is something like a safety net. It's something that is surely going to be there. It's not like stocks and shares, it goes up and down. And sometimes dividends get reduced or suspended or totally cancelled, like we saw in the pandemic. So CPF, gives me peace of mind, right? So I've blogged about the CPF extensively, and I also made videos about it. So if you're interested, you can go and take a look. And I think all of us who are CPF members should take full advantage of the CPF, the system, right? Is there to help us. I think I'm rambling. I'm going off track again. Yeah. So anyway, the aim of this video is to tell people, know what kind of investors we are, whether we are able to take a few knocks, and if we can take a few knocks, then fine, we can invest in a more adventurous manner, right? But of course, don't throw caution to the wind still. We must make sure that we can recover from any mistakes that we make, or any hits that we take in a relatively short time, right? From our passive income, from maybe what we get from our CPF later on, if we're already retired and we are going to draw down on our CPF, that kind of stuff, right? So if AK can do it, so can you. Bye-bye.